Hey folks, today we're going to talk with a person that's a very sincere, honest, and a very committed veterans advocate. And I'll let him introduce himself, and then he can talk a little bit about maybe his military career, so you get a feel of the kind of a person he was and what kind of a public servant he is. So,
Thanks, Randy. Pleasure to be here with you tonight. Jon Lovald. I am a Army veteran and more recently retired. And I'm glad to be here with you tonight at my American Legion, and thank you for taking some time to talk with me. I enlisted into the Army right out of high school, and eventually found my way through active duty and into the National Guard, and retired in 2015. And shortly after retirement, found my way to MACV.
So E1 to 05.
E1 to 05. I did as many of them as I could.
Yeah, we all like to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're the CEO of MACV. You might want to tell people what it stands for, what you guys do, and well, maybe talk a little bit about the history.
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, I am the Chief Operating Officer at MACV. MACV is it's a acronym that originally in the 1960s stood for Military Advisory Command Vietnam. Not surprisingly, 30 years ago when some veterans created MACV, they used the same acronym to create the Minnesota Assistance Council for Veterans.
I was around there.
Yes,
Some of the guys you were talking about.
there are many people who say, "Are you that MACV?"
Yeah.
And we'd say, "No, we're not that MACV, but we are here to help."
Yeah, you are not that mad. Go ahead and talk about it. It's involved.
Yeah.
So you do the stand downs?
Yep. MACV is a statewide organization to help veterans who are struggling with their housing stability, homeless veterans, or those who are just at risk of becoming homeless. We have been, our name is synonymous with stand down. Stand down, obviously a term again that's lifted from the Vietnam War. Stand down was the opportunity for those who were on the front lines to have a couple of days back at a base, safely get a shower, eat something, and maybe feel safe for a few days. So,
Not quite China Beach.
Not quite China Beach, but certainly a moment where they could try to reset before they were going right back out. And stand down has become synonymous with that for our homeless veteran population, which is let's give them this opportunity to get connected to services, get off of the street, get a hot meal, and hopefully connect them to stable housing.
You got a great partner, Minnesota Twins, that helped you with that over the I'm never amazed what they do, but they're involved with the community in that.
We have a lot of great partners, Randy. I mean, you yourself included, because we know as a small nonprofit, even though we are statewide, we can't do anything by ourselves. And every single partnership is what brings us to another opportunity for a veteran. And I would like to actually highlight the fact that 3 years ago, when you and I sat down and said, what are we going to do in Carver County to help veterans, we sat down, we talked about the need, we sat down, we talked about what does Chaska and Carver County have for our veterans, and then got to a actual solution. We didn't just talk about it, we actually found another partner and created another housing opportunity for veterans right there in beautiful Chaska.
It's really good. The model is excellent for taxpayers. Because you have the Community Development Authority, which is the experts in housing in Carver County, and they know how to manage buildings. They do an excellent job in upkeep and maintenance and taking care of the customer service side of their homes. So, but you guys come in with supportive services that increase a person's chance of success and moving, hopefully eventually out of transitional housing into their own homes and productive jobs and productive members of the community. And my favorite thing, they grow into taxpayers. But
absolutely. Yeah, it's important to note that MACV is one of our services is transitional housing. And housing that's available in Chaska is permanent supportive housing. No, that'll be can be a permanent solution. However, it comes along with our case management as well as the CDA's, building management and everything else. Everybody's doing the thing that they do and bringing it to that project and to that solution, for veterans.
In fact, we're taking that model and moving it over to single parents. And we're the one organization that works with them for educational purposes is going to provide support services. And again, Community Development Authority will provide the housing. So again, we're just not warehousing people.
Right.
But we're trying to move them along. So
You can't just place somebody somewhere and assume everything's going to be okay. It actually requires the supportive services that come along with it.
we just cross our fingers and hope it turns out really well, So that, I'm glad we got a better method, a better model now that can make these things happen. Well, let me throw this one at you. So you've seen what we've done in Carver County so far, and what would you like to see, or what do you think the future could be, possibly for MACV in Carver County, and the partnership that we have with our different agencies that could assist veterans? Do you have some goals or some ideas? Or?
Well, I think the thing that we try to focus on most is to let people do what they do, and not ask people to veer outside their lane. And the CDA is doing exactly what they do, but how it could get bigger or better or even more purposeful is to have a large landlord group that might want to get involved in this, and for them to see the model, and for them to see the services, and to understand this is not a huge risk they're taking. This is permanent support housing. This is transitional housing. This isn't a shelter. This is the spot that somebody gets to go to really put all the rest of the pieces together, because we've assisted them to this point where they're rent ready to work with the landlord.
The Commissioner of Veterans Affairs, who I'll be talking to later this week, he's big on working with landlords.
Mm-hmm.
And,
We have to.
Yeah, and we talk about clearing up a lot of, things that landlords are concerned about.
Yep.
We offer, not guarantees, but we tell them to work through the problems. Yeah.
Well, I have to tell you that, I served together with Commissioner Herkey, and you can't find a better person who is committed to this mission of ending veteran homelessness. He's mission driven, he's data driven, and he's a great partner. And one of the things he did initially when he came in was to create incentive funds and other funds if there was any type of an issue when the veteran vacated the unit, which we've used almost none of those funds, period. It's he's dedicated to this, and I know that it's a Twin Cities, it's a statewide initiative for him.
Exactly. As you and I have talked, I've known the last 5 commissioners and the Department of Veterans Affairs. All of them played a role, and the job changes and time changes. He's the first commissioner I was in a meeting with, and he said, okay, we gotta go now, I gotta go meet with some landlords. So I've never seen a commissioner that's gonna go out and meet with landlords to try to take care of this homeless issue.
He puts on his hat, puts on his jacket, and he goes and talks to people, and he's very, very committed to this mission. I'm happy to be working with him and yourself doing this.
Yeah, and I know the governor, this is a priority, and he's passed this down to the commissioner, and he's pretty serious about this issue.
Absolutely.
Well, I think we'll wrap it up then. Is there anything you'd like to add, John, or?
Well, I'd just like to say that, we talked about the fact that Carver County specifically has a strong veteran base. Carver County wants to take care of veterans, and it's easy to say that. And the first time you and I spoke about that, it was the beginning conversation, and it was refreshing to see some hard work from beyond the yellow ribbon, Carver CDA, yourself, your county CVSO, Dan Tangwell, everybody working together, creating fundraising events, creating all the things to put the pieces in place to make that unit possible. And every county could learn from that.
You mentioned the yellow ribbon folks, and we should say that the facility need a little, a little rework.
Absolutely.
When CBA purchased it. The Chaska Lions donated money
Yep,
to do
Chaska
one
Lions.
unit. Yellow Ribbon donated money. And, was it Home Depot?
Home Depot as well, yeah.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
so that's
different.
three.
And then third year in a row, we've done the golf tournament, and all the funding from the golf tournament has gone straight back into the housing right there in Carver County.
So folks, you should be watching for that golf tournament if you like to golf. And if you don't like to golf, it's not a bad social event. So it's a deer run in Victoria, and it's in September.
Yep, we just had it last week, and Tom and his crew over there at Deer Run do a fantastic job with us. I appreciate his partnership too.
Well, I think we've got everything covered now. We almost missed a few things, but thanks, John, for
That's
getting my brain thinking a little bit better on this stuff. So, well, I think what we'll do is we'll wrap it. So thanks very much, John, for being with us. And we'll share this with the folks back in Carver County so they understand a little bit better what MACV is doing for our veterans.
Thanks, Randy.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service.